Today, we're going to talk about responsible AI, but, not in that abstract philosophical way. We're going to treat it as what it is, a totally essential business strategy. This is really a practical look for anyone who's building, deploying, or even leading AI projects. So let's dive right in. All right, first up, let's talk about risk. Because here's the thing, without a really clear strategy for responsible AI, even the absolute best intentions can go sideways fast. I want you to picture this because it's a very real kind of scenario. Your company builds an amazing AI to help small businesses. You've got good data, a solid system, everything seems great. But then, after you launch, you discover it's actually amplifying existing societal biases. Instead of expanding their reach, it's segregating communities by race. Suddenly, your helpful tool is causing some serious harm. And that scenario, that is a perfect example of an unintended consequence. These are these just disastrous results that are the exact opposite of what you wanted your AI to do. And honestly, they're a huge reason why so many AI projects end up failing. You can have the best data, the most brilliant system on the planet, but without these responsible practices baked in, you're just risking project failure, wasted money, and some pretty severe damage to your reputation. So how in the world do we prevent this? Well, this gets us to the absolute core idea of what we're talking about today. Responsible AI isn't just some abstract ideal. It's a practical, hands-on business tool for getting the results you actually want. So let's redefine a key word here. In the world of AI, I want you to think of ethics as a decision analysis tool. That's it. Its whole purpose is to check if your technical decisions and your business decisions are actually aligned with your company's values and what you wanted to achieve in the first place. When you use it like that, you are strategically cutting down on risk and making sure your AI actually does what it was built to do. Now, what's so interesting here is the distinction this makes. Responsible AI is not about sitting around debating sci-fi scenarios, like an AGI takeover. It's about tackling the immediate, real-world risks that businesses are facing right now. We're talking about things like bias, privacy violations, and outright project failure. We're focused on the here and now. Okay, so whenever the word ethics comes up in a business meeting, there's always one objection that pops up, so let's just tackle that one head on. You've probably heard this, right? Maybe you've even thought it yourself. But isn't ethics just subjective? The whole argument is that if it's all just a matter of opinion, how can it possibly be a reliable tool for something as concrete and data-driven as AI? Well, the first counter-argument to that is, yeah, while interpretation has some subjective parts, a set of universal values is actually forming an objective foundation in responsible AI. Principles like fairness, transparency, and privacy, these are becoming internationally accepted. So the key takeaway is that we have a solid, objective place to start from. We're not just making it up as we go. And this next point, this one brilliantly illustrates why that objection doesn't really work. The truth is, ethics is actually just as subjective as data science. I mean, think about it. A data scientist has to make subjective calls all the time, right? Like choosing whether to optimize a model for accuracy or for precision or for recall. An ethicist does the same thing. They use critical reasoning to figure out which values to prioritize in a specific situation. So yeah, that objection just doesn't really hold up to scrutiny. Okay, so now let's build on that, because it helps us uncover what I think is the most important takeaway from all of this. Responsible AI is not just about fixing code. This brings us to a really interesting concept called the techno-value blind spot. This is what happens when you see an ethics problem like bias in your algorithm, and you treat it like it's just a technical bug that needs a patch. But the reality is, that technical issue, it's often just a symptom of a much, much deeper problem within the organization itself. So to avoid that blind spot, any successful strategy has to be built on 3 pillars. First, you've got people. Who is actually building your AI? What's our training? What's a company culture like? Second is process. How is the AI being built? What are the policies and governance frameworks in place? And only then, third, do we get to technology. What data and what tools are you using? See, just fixing the tech alone is bound to fail if the people and the process aren't aligned. So let's start to bring this all together. Responsible AI is moving really, really quickly from being a nice to have to an absolute must do for any business. The expectation from the market is just massive and crystal clear. According to recent studies, a staggering 97% of consumers expect tech companies to build and use technology ethically. This isn't some niche concern anymore. It's become the baseline standard. And I mean, just look at these numbers. They show the real, tangible impact. 55% of consumers say they'll buy more from a company they see as ethical. 48% of companies using responsible AI report that it makes their brand stand out. And on the flip side, 34% of consumers will just completely stop interacting with a company after an ethical screw-up. The rewards are real, and believe me, so are the penalties. So the crucial point is this. The whole conversation has shifted. The risks of not doing anything, we're talking project failure, brand damage, just falling way behind your competitors. Those risks now far, far outweigh the cost of actually implementing a responsible AI strategy. At the end of the day, the artificial intelligence you build is a direct reflection of your organization's values, of its humanity. It learns what you teach it, whether you mean to or not. So the final question I want to leave you with is a pretty simple one. What are you teaching it?